All right, it shows that I'm live. Hello, everyone. I hope this is working. I hope you can hear me. It's supposed to be coming through my Yeti microphone. Let's see. Can I edit any of this? Don't want to mute. Okay, it is coming from the Yeti. Oh my goodness. I had an entire presentation on Canva ready to go. Haven't been able to figure that out, but we'll give it a moment. Can I see if people are in there? It looks like someone gave me a thumbs up. But if you are here, welcome to the live. I'm excited to see you guys in the chat. So if you have any questions, put some questions in the chat. Um, Oh my gosh. I'm so used to using Zoom. Okay, let me talk on this so you guys can hear me. I'm used to using Zoom or Descript, but I thought, hey, why not hop on YouTube Live and have a little fun, try to have a little chit chat with everybody. But in this now moment, I'm just going to get started. I don't know if it's going to tell me if people have joined. It's 7:01. I've got my wonderful pyramids behind me here. And I can't wait to get started and share with you a little bit about my journeys and travels. I was going to show you my photos of me at Chichén Itzá, photos of me digging giant Lemurian quartz crystals, right? I need to remember this is my mic. Sorry. Go ahead and grab yourself a little bit of tea. I've got rose hibiscus tea. Mm. And it says, seize the day, because I love my mermaid stuff. Well, anyways, all right. Well, we're just going to fake it till you make it. Sometimes you might have a plan and that plan just doesn't work out. I've literally spent the last 2 hours trying to figure this out. And I was trying to hook up my phone and then have my laptop and then have Canva up on my laptop because this camera is not as nice as the iPhone camera. And I was trying to figure out this whole webcam situation. I gave myself 2 hours to figure this out and still no luck. So without further ado, we're going to just go back to the whiteboards, right? Back to the drawing boards. So I want to start off by saying that my name is Emsley, and I think it's really funny how people would think that crystals are woo woo because I absolutely love crystals. I think that they're the most earth thing you can be. Let me put this on silent because people are going to be hitting me up like, hey, I'm on your show. So I'm hoping this is the right thing. Am I even on the right channel? Am I in the right dimension? Okay, well, without further ado, once again, I keep saying that. I'm Emsley, and I've traveled the world to the smallest places to the largest crazy places that are crazy, is what I was trying to say, crazy places. And what I found is that there are common things that continue to show up and create a pattern. And those things is quartz crystals and water. And when I say quartz crystal, I also mean silicon dioxide. So what I was saying earlier about the woo-woo, people are like, oh, crystals are woo-woo. Sir, you know that your phone is made up out of liquid quartz crystal, right? And look at Linda, you know that those satellites and your computers, telephones, all of this that we have is a liquid quartz crystal, silicon dioxide. So when you hear Silicon Valley, Crystal Valley, motherfucker. Sorry, I'm up to excuse my French. I don't have kids, so I'm a dink and I have a potty mouth. So today we're going to talk about pyramids. And I don't know about you guys, but before I was digging crystals, in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Well, actually, on a private mine outside of there from Blue Springs. It is now known as Avant Mines. Shout out to James, where you can actually go and dig crystals. And when I'm talking about dig crystals, y'all, I'm talking about buckets, like buckets of crystals. So, highly recommend going to Avant Mines. Everywhere else, like, you're not gonna have the same experience. It was private, but now it's actually open to the public for like $25. Bring your kids. You're gonna get dirty. You're gonna dig in the dirt, but you're gonna come back with like so many crystals. And I'm like, do I have one in here to show you guys? Because I mean, not just look, you come back with pendants so you can make jewelry. You also find big boulders. A little tip and trick I can give to you guys is go around the parameters, because they've like put all of these mounds of crystals that they have found. It's basically like, imagine they're just taking the crystals and dumping them. So if you go on the parameters and like stand on top of the little parameters like here and look down and around, you'll find like boulders of crystals everywhere. So also look around in the parking lot. People would be so shocked at how much people drop in the parking lot. Like, you don't even have to go to the dunes and the mines. Like, just chill around in the parking lot and look for sparkles. So crystals are important. Why? Because did you know that granite made with the granite that was made in the pyramids was actually um 60% quartz crystal. So that's a high quartz. And why is quartz important? It's because it releases piezoelectric energy. And I had a really profound experience where I was in the beautiful mountains and literally nothing around. There's no telephone wires, there's no laptops, there's no cities. Like, you're literally just in the mountains and you're just in all the pine trees and digging crystals in the dirt under the stars. And it was crazy because as I was digging these crystals, because what I want to say is that what I'm going to share with you today, I'd never read in a book. In fact, what I read in a book was that these were just mountain mounds built by slaves for dead pharaohs. Like, okay. Like, I didn't the pyramids to me are just big triangles sticking out of some sand. Like, why should I care about this? Why should any of us care about some triangles in the dirt? Like, Linda, I got better things to do with my day. However, as time goes on, you start to realize what's going on. And so what I wanted to say is that I asked questions. I'm digging in the earth and I'm looking up and I'm digging out these Lemurian crystals. Like, we were making history in America, digging out these crystals. And I was with a seventh generational miner who was pulling them out. And I was like wrapping them up in swaddling clothes. And it was just this profound experience, because I'm not talking about crystals, you guys. I'm talking about like a massive crystal. I might have to run and go get my big crystal just to show you. But like, think yay big, okay? So these are giant Lemurian crystals, which are said to have these like downloads, almost like a fob key. Remember, we're talking about how crystals are used to program our computers, and they use frequency. Even the military uses them. So Bell telephones, like how we're able to communicate is through quartz crystals and through frequency. And Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think of it in terms of sound, vibration, and frequency, right? So when I was digging crystals, I asked. Even the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. Like, I don't care what religion you are. I believe that like we're all children of the universe and the cosmic creator God. So I don't, like, we're all here to figure this out. We're not here to fight and separate. And that's that time is over. We tried that out. It's not working. So let's move on to the next of harmony and balance, right? So, and if anyone's in the chat, like, let me know if y'all can hear me. Like, it looks like someone's watching, but if you can hear me out there, hey, Iz, what's up? Thank you. So I don't know about you guys, but because I want to take you along my journey and let you know like my process. So I didn't like read. It was just me out in the dirt digging these beautiful crystals. And I noticed that while we were digging crystals, there was like heat lightning going off above me. And I asked Earth, because you can talk to, the energy and things around you. I was just like, dear Mother Earth, I know that these crystals are used in our computers and our phones, and like we have this crystal technology around us. So, but what is it that we're missing? Like, what is it behind these crystals that we are not seeing? Like, please show me. And I was looking up, like I said, seeing this heat lightning, and I was reminded of the piezoelectric energy of quartz crystal. Now, this is where things get crazy for me too. I all of a sudden got a vision of the pyramids. And this is why I'm putting this on the board because I want to share this vision with you guys. And this vision is what changed everything for me and how I'm able to realize what crystal technology is hiding in plain sight. So, this is the vision that I got. Okay. All of a sudden, I see water underneath the pyramid. Yeah. Yeah. Water, right? So I see like this water aquifer thing underneath the pyramids. I'm like, what the heck is this? And this is like what I see, okay? And again, this just comes to me in a vision, and now it's a doodle. And then somewhere in here, I'm totally messing this up right now. This right here is like a spiraling vortex, okay? So imagine this is like a spiraling vortex going on underneath the pyramids. And we'll get to that in a second. But I don't know about you. The last thing I think about is water in the desert. Like, I literally had to go and Google. I was like, I was like, water under the pyramids? Like, sure, okay. Sure the fuck enough, there is water underneath the aquifers. And I realized that it wasn't just underneath the Giza pyramids. It's under Chichén Itzá. It's under Peru. It's under cathedrals even. AI helped me out with that one. AI was like, yeah. So how like what? Why would there be water underneath the pyramids? And that's what started it for me. And here I am digging crystals, right? Well, what is the pyramids made out of? Remember, we just talked about that granite, which is 60% quartz crystal, right? So, why is that important? Quartz crystal release piezoelectric energy when they are put under pressure. So, when they're put under pressure, they generate electricity. Literally, if I were to take two quartz crystals right now and I were to do like this and go, you would literally see light. And you can watch these videos. I wish I can like, so I'm supposed to be sharing a whole presentation with Canva, sharing my screen right now, y'all. But I couldn't figure. Oh, is this the button to share screen? Share screen. Wow. I found it. Hold on. Okay, well, in this now moment, we're on to something. Okay. Why is this important? What does pyramid stand for? Right? Y'all ready for this? Anyone know what pyro means? Pyro? Yes, fire. Anyone know what mid stands for? If I said mid, middle, right? So pyramid is fire in the middle. Also, Egypt is known as the land of Kemet, which is chemistry. The land of chemistry. So we're going to learn some crystal chemistry today. So see what happened was because we're told that these are just tombs for dead pharaohs. Wrong. Thanks to my visions, because what I saw was we had water underneath the pyramids, okay? And you're gonna love this. So, what just happened recently? The Lion's Gate portal. And the Lion's Gate portal was when Sirius and the sun aligned, and it generates this energy. And that's why I get angry. I'm like, it's spiritual and make sure you're manifesting, because no, y'all, like this was the time that once a year, for those of my people out there that understand, like my engineers, shout out if you know solar engineering. I have a good friend out there that does solar farming out there, my boo. So, what are the odds that my boo works with solar farms and I get to hear his terminology and I'm like, welcome to the pyramids. So, this is what would happen. What happened was, I'm like trying to, hopefully, you guys can still hear me. So, what happened is we had Sirius, the star of Sirius here, and the sunshine. Oh, wait, you can't. Yeah, you can. Because guess what? The sun is a star too, right? And so both of these things were generating frequency and light. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's holes in the top of the pyramids. There's actually shafts and chambers in there. And they never actually found mummies and sarcophagi. So, anyways, through these shafts and chambers, have you ever seen a magnifying glass? And you have the sun over here, and that's the sun is sending in a beam of light. And then what happens to that beam of light from the sun? This creates fire, doesn't it? So, guess what? There's your fire in the middle, folks. So, just like a magnifying glass, this solar energy would come through. It would create a combustion that would then steam up. What happens under heat and pressure? Anybody? Does anybody know? Put it in the chats. What happens if you have water, steam, pressure? What happens, right? Didn't we talk about earlier how, what was it? What was that element? Quartz crystal. Quartz crystal and the piezoelectric energy. So now this water is heating up. What happens to water when it heats up? It rises, right? So now we've got pressure heating up and rising up. So now this water is creating a vortex of energy coming up through the pyramids and out into the civilization. And that is actually how the Nile River flooded annually. So, once again, now this water is coming out. I don't know how, but I actually think the water somehow comes out of the Sphinx's chest. And I'm going to show you. And so we're going to talk about the Sphinx's breastplate in a minute because it's literally showing you everything that I'm telling you on the breastplate because this happens during Lion's Gate portal. Like it's not, it's hiding in plain sight, like Lion's Gate portal. Because in the sun and Sirius are in the constellation of Leo, and it's when the Sphinx is actually pointing the Leo. So it's really cool. Like this isn't, are you Leo? What's your sign? Like, no, this is like engineering. This is science. This is actual physical stuff. And this is what created not just solar energy, but okay, now because this water is rubbing up against the quartz crystal, it is creating electric living water. So, 5G towers, guess what? Guess what they had as 5G towers? Y'all ready for this? Anybody seen an obelisk before? Remember those obelisks? I know I did a terrible job. Don't even, y'all, I know. Shh, shh, shh. Can I fix it? Can I fix it? Because when I went to Rome, they had like the Vatican has more obelisk, and the Vatican and Rome, like, they, had gifts from Egypt and Cleopatra. Like, how did y'all just like take this down and transport it? And nah, no, 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 that stuff was already there. Tartaria, Lemuria, Atlantis, all of these crystal cities are hiding in plain sight. Because guess what, y'all? So this is, and I'm going to show you now that I know how to share my screen. I'm going to show you the Sphinx's breastplate. But let me show you real quick, because here's the deal. Because again, this water is now electric and it's living. So it's creating electricity, and this water is flowing throughout the civilization. And I also believe, I also believe, I could be wrong, but usually I'm right. Check it out. I think, again, as above, so below, so within, so without. That's what the Egyptians say. I think the obelisk, I think the obelisk are also downwards as well. And I think they're just giant antennas. So these are like your ancient 5G towers, and the energy would arc over. This is our original Bluetooth, y'all. This is our original free wireless energy Bluetooth, devices. And from this point, because what else has water? What else, if we go travel the world and we look around at these beautiful ancient architecture that look like they kind of have cathodes and antennae, cathedrals. So I'm going to draw a really fun, cathedral here, right? With their antennas, right? The rose window. And again, what is connecting all of this? The water. If we go to our dollar bill, isn't there like a pyramid on our dollar bill? Don't we call money currency, flow, currency, right? So the best part about this is that Giza pyramids are not the only pyramids. There's thousands of them, and they are all over, especially in America. So it's not that this was just in one place in Egypt. It could have been a hub. So we need to start thinking of Earth as like a giant house, right? And with that giant house, we have a breaker box. Like we have a main hub, like a main breaker box. And then we also have our lights and switches and everything else. So just like how we have our water source, you have like a main water source, and then um it spreads out to everything else, right? So isn't this interesting how we've been thought and we've been we've been brought up to believe that these were just tombs. These are just some giant phallus, I'm going to say, to be nice, and just some big stone rocks, right? Of the Freemasons. And then cathedrals are just for God and a place where we go like have this weird mass thing. But why are these important is because cathedrals are ancient sound healing centers. The holy water, again, resonance, vibration, frequency. Rockefeller and Big Pharma, they the ones that took all the bells. They're the ones that destroyed all this stuff because they wanted to profit off of people's pain. So remember currency. They destroyed this free wireless energy currency. So that way you would have to go make a piece of paper to prove your worth because I'm the God that created you doesn't love you enough that it's not going to give you shelter and food, and you got to go work for that, and you got to be taxed for that, and you got to go to church to pay that God 10% for that. So yeah. Cathedrals, don't they have an instrument in there? Isn't that instrument known as a pipe organ? Well, as a vocalist and a singer and someone that actually studies sound frequency and vibration and has seen and witnessed miracles for years, Cathedrals are resonance chambers that are built for the amplification of the vocals. And what I learned from the doctors that I work with, and they actually hire people to go sing in the hospitals and stuff too. And it's that the human voice is the most powerful instrument in healing the body. So, my question is, if organs are designed to heal our organs and they represent the pipes, the vocal cords, the breath, and we could have a bunch of beautiful people gathered in these places, and instead of singing to some dead dude up there and whatever, and guys in dresses on stage performing a ritual, what if we like actually got together and sang to send intention to each other's bodies? What if we were harmonizing and creating a resonance field? Because did you know, speaking of water, water can be structured. Like you can literally hold your water and say, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, and it'll turn muddy. Look up Dr. Emoto because he talked about this and did a whole science about this. And you could also say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then it'll make snowflakes and ferment and be beautiful and smell sweet like honey. So, churches and cathedrals are two different things. Like when I say cathedral, I mean like a cathode, a cathedral. Like y'all know, like a church with a little bitty box. No, no, no. We talking these ancient buildings that our ancestors built that somebody founded. Oh, you founded that? Babe, you founded that, Shy. You didn't build that. You founded that. You just kicked out you kicked out the people so that way you could take over. 'Cause that's what happened. We all know the stories. Like we have heard about the ethnic cleansings. And if you haven't heard about it, my friend, do yourself a favor and look it up. Look up the Trail of Tears. I started watching that from like a little VHS from the library. Literally could not finish watching it. It was so tragic. So this reality, this is the real disclosure. That's why they want you worried about aliens up in the sky and Jesus over here and Buddha over there and Allah over there and like the war and the things and the solar eclipses, and just keep your eye on the sky. Keep looking up. Keep looking up at the firmament, at the bubble that you're stuck in. Because God forbid you look underground. God forbid you realize, like, wait a minute, there's waterways and tunnels and networkings and systems that connect all of this. So, no wonder that these ancient people all had the same technology because everybody was literally connected. There wasn't separation like we have now. And so, I want to erase this for a second and really blow your mind because I also like by understanding these truths, it's really simple, y'all. And that's what are the simple components we need for free wireless energy? Ironically, it's the things that we have most on this planet. 90% of what? Water. We need water. We need quartz crystals, silicon dioxide, which is I think 72% of our planet. And we need sound, frequency, and vibration, which, hey, we got a billion people, all over the place. Let's go. And then we got cathedrals that creates frequency. So basically, cathedrals were like giant tuning forks. And when the Bible talks about the God has created many mansions in heaven, hello, cathedrals. They look like mansions to me. Oh, and let's not forget that government buildings, aren't they made out of marble, granite, limestone? Hmm. Crystalline things once again. These buildings are made with crystalline properties. They're not just made of brick. Like these are not made of clay. They're not made of adobe. They're not made of abalone. They're not made of bologna ham sandwiches and cheese, y'all. These massive buildings, which I promise you were not created with a little hammer and chisel. Bitch, they all look like they were laser cut. Come on. Have you seen laser cut technology? And like, I understand yes, people can hand carve some magical things, but cathedrals, If you haven't been to like a actual massive cathedral in Europe, go. Because when you go, that's when you're just like, like, no, like Linda, look it. Yeah, I'm not, I can't. So I want to erase this real quick because it's really interesting because I want to share something with y'all that really blew my mind and I think is like really dope because I always wondered like how the heck did God flood the earth? And like what's up with this whole Noah's day? By the way, speaking of Noah, right? And floods and water. So wasn't Noah living to be like 900 years old or something like that? Like wasn't he 900 years old? So yeah, because it says something how like we were spirit, but then we became flesh and blood, and our days were numbered to 120 days. All that was whenever somebody destroyed the pyramids because there was light and then there was darkness on the earth. And some angry God didn't come to flood the evil. No, the evil destroyed the pyramids to try to flood everything else out to keep the good stuff for themselves. We're living in the galaxies, and the pirates of the galaxies are trying to take over this crystalline jewel, basically. So check this out. If I can find my handy dandy eraser. No? Yep, on the ground. So I'm trying to think if there's anything. Do you have any questions? Anybody in the comments? Like, are y'all following along? Do you understand how solar energy is creating frequencies, creating a combustion in here, and then the water is coming up, releasing piezoelectric energy. So now this is creating free wireless energy out into the civilization. Ooh, and I want to see if I can share with you guys the Sphinx's breastplate and the Lionsgate portal because it's really important because it's in the hieroglyphics. Like the proof is in our face. Let's see. Can I share? Can I share? Let's see. Yes, I can. Oh, but why? Why? There we go. All right. Hope you guys can see this. So, see at the top where it's got a disc? It looks like two discs coming together. So, that is Sirius and the sun coming together. And other stars, for all I know. I just know that the pyramids are connected to the Orion's belt and Sirius and the sun. And notice how see those angel wings at the top that's creating an arcing energy. So, and it's beautiful. It's angelic. It's the heavens. It's angels, right? And then notice how on each side, oh, here we go. So now you've got two lions. Like literally, there are two lions on gates. And look at this from Sirius and the sun that's creating a portal down the center, right? And look at this two humans, I guess, aliens, something. I'm going to call them cosmic conscious beings, advanced beings that are on this side. So, once again, this is right here, this is what's right here on the Sphinx's breastplate. And I personally believe that this is a door that if like a breastplate, like no, like this was not carved onto the Sphinx. Clearly, this was just placed there, y'all. Like for real. Like, I mean, bruh. That's a door. Open it up, Linda. Let us in, Linda. And under here, like I really think that the waters, like I'm not think when I see my visions and I ask about it, this is where I get this vision. This is the image that I get that the uh, water would come up through the pyramids and out the Sphinx's chest into the Nile, basically looking like this, you know? So I'm trying to show you all these pictures while we're here. This is more or less what the pyramids really looked like. Here's another good one for you. So this is what Chichén Itzá look like. So just like the Quetzalcoatl, I'm going to just hope you guys can see this. But crystal technology, ancient civilizations understood the profound power of crystals. These natural formations were revered for their ability to store and transmit energy, facilitate healing practices, and serve as sacred tools in spiritual rituals. From quartz to amethyst, crystals bridge the physical and metaphysical realms. And as I was sharing with you, it's not like it's some magical crystal wand, you guys. They literally had crystal energy in the limestone and in the granite of the pyramids, which created the water to come out. And when you look at Chichén Itzá, it has holes at the bottom. And I promise you that those holes, there's a well down at the bottom. And whenever it talks about Quasiquoto, um, that's the serpent. So I'm trying to find, hold on, you guys. Now I'm just going to be going all over the place because here's my presentation for you for next time. Look at that. I was here in Chichén Itzá, and I wish I had my other photos. Is it on here? No, dang it. So on the other temples, right here, it literally shows like water droplets coming out of these, um, the tops here, and the water would pour out. And I got so many other photos because under, like around here, it's like a moat for water. And there was like these moats everywhere and like water channels. And I got all this water erosion. So yeah, no, not tombs. And that's what was so cool because once again, just like their Lionsgate portal, which is probably some serpent day, it would create like the suns would go through and create this serpent that comes right here. And that's how you know that serpent, the Kundalini, is what is creating that time frame where it's the solar power energy that's coming together, creating that piezoelectric energy, and thus creating free wireless energy for the world for that year. It's like a battery. So you can imagine that everyone is celebrating, everyone's having a good time. They're like, yes, we are going to get this energy for the world and be healed and live happily ever after. These are the crystals I was talking about, where my story began, where I was digging Lemurian crystals. Look, these are the sonar scans, you guys. So how crazy that I've had these visions back in 2015 and here we are 2027. So all this happened to me in 2015 and yeah, now we have it like look, see it like it's a spiral. Exactly. I showed you in my little doodles that I saw a vortex of energy. This is a vortex of energy and look, they even put water underneath it. Like they even knew, hello, look at this water underneath it. Here's the aquifers. By the way, here's a giant Lemurian quartz crystal. And I know I'm not doing this right, but here we are. Here again is the fire in the middle, like uh, with the magnifying glass here. And let's see what else I got for y'all. Again, look, now we understand why and what all this means, right? Because as above, so below. Like, what is all this? And why is this on their dollar? Because they wanted to let us know, hiding in plain sight, like, hey, this is what the pyramids actually are. They're the original currency. And let's see. All right, cool. So back to the days of Noah, because this is really interesting. And when you realize that, okay, if you can imagine that all the pyramids around the world is what generated the energy for that city, for that country. And I mean, that's why they don't want us to know about this, because if energy and water and all this was free and data centers weren't using it up, wouldn't we be exactly currency? Exactly. Thank you, baby. I can't see who that is. Sorry, y'all, it's like tiny, but yes, currency. Shout out to currency. So the dollar bill is now the currency. And this is why I'm like, why are we manifesting money? Because the more that we manifest the system, the more that we're going to get that system. We all just need to opt out of that system and start knocking down these doors and like, hey, yo, today we're going to come rebuild the pyramids. So we don't care about your antiquities and your artifacts and your BS. Because y'all doing is putting it in a little museum, making thousands of dollars. Did you know that like you don't even want to know how much money the basilica makes. Like, you don't even want to know how much these cathedrals make and how much they charge. Like, we're going to Europe and they charge like $70 per person to wait in line or not skip the line for extra $30. And then you only get an hour in there. And like, I'm trying to be in there singing, healing people, baby. Even the Bible, and I know I referenced the Bible, but by the way, let me just say that when I reference the Bible is about Atlantis. It's a history book. It's a history book about Atlantis. And when they talk about Christ, they also mean the crystals, the quartz crystals, because when they destroyed Christ on the cross, they destroyed the crystals, the pyramids on the cross, the ley lines. Hello, ley lines, crosses. Like, we really got to start putting the pieces of this together, y'all. I hope I'm making sense out there. So, yeah, let me show you something because this is really interesting. So I'm going to Google real quick with you guys because this is really fun. Because again, we're going to research the days of Noah. Because if I ask you what happened back in Noah when it flooded, you're going to tell me, well, it rained for 40 days and 30 nights or 40 nights. Um, Wrong. Right? Check this out. Check this out. Hold up. Just hold up. Let me share my screen with y'all. Let me get Google up here. All right. So here we are. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment if you want me to go over something. So hopefully y'all can see my screen. We're going to look up my Disney Princess concert. I highly recommend seeing that, y'all, because the divine feminine is rising. Here we are. And because the divine feminine is the water. It is the water. We all came out of a womb. We all came out of a mother. And what am I looking up? Help me. Not pyramids. Oh my goodness. What am I looking up? My brain just fried, y'all. Help me out in the comments. What am I looking up? Oh my gosh. Ah. Oh, Noah. Okay, here we go. So Genesis 7:11. By the way, isn't that funny? Don't we have a 7-Elevens? Look at this, y'all. In the 600th year of Noah's life. Excuse me, sir. Linda, look it. Noah was 600 years old. And if they're like, well, they had different times, then why did they say that Noah changed and then we was 120 years and now we only live until like 80, 60? We don't even make 120 years. So right there, we already know, like, whoa. Noah lived to be 600. Scares me. So in the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 7th day of the second month, on the day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of heaven were open. I'm going to read that again for those in the back, for those that need to hear, because my favorite translation is the other one. It says the fountains of the great deep erupted. But hey, we'll take this one. On that day, all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates, remember we were just talking about the lion's gates of the heavens were opened. Wow. Like, excuse me? Um right? So imagine you have pyramids all around the world, and their job is to be hydroponic, solar powered, free wireless energy crystal devices, creating magical free wireless energy. Everyone's happy, living to hundreds of years old, like living the dream. And then all of a sudden, something happens, and this something destroys this. Wouldn't you say? And by the way, because the portals of heaven, these were connected to the stars and the cosmos. And if you believe in the firmament and all that fun stuff, and like we're in a bubble, then like it would make sense if like the firmament or something like water would be coming through. Because again, we're in the galaxies, Milky Way, who knows? And what I gotta say about my flat earthers and my round earthers, look, honey, she's Mother Earth. It's a woman. So whether she flat or round, curvy, swervy, baby, we gonna love her and take care of her either way. That is the conversation. The conversation is it flat? Is it round? We're not here to fight. We're here to start rebuilding and reclaiming the stuff that the 1% done took over. Okay? Like that's the conversation we're trying to have. So, for example, again, if I had thousands of these, there's like 2,000 in America, by the way. Go. Let's just have some fun. We're going to go check out. We're going to Google, because if you haven't seen the pyramid map of America, check it out. Because you're like, there's no pyramid. Yes, there are. Pyramid map of United States. Where are we at? That's not a good one. Where are we at? Did I put it in my thing? I thought I put it in my thing. Oh man. I had a good map too. Is it this one? Because it's an old map. No, we don't want no AI maps. Where's my pyramid map? Oh, Let me do America. Aha, there we go. Look at this. Mississippi. Uh-huh. If y'all haven't looked into any of the Egypt is really America stuff, I highly recommend because the Mississippi River actually um goes along with the Bible or like the Nile River of Egypt because it says something like it splits off into seven. But all these are all pyramids. Like it's crazy. Look, there's pyramids everywhere, y'all. And America's got tons of them. Like, and that's still not the map that I saw the other day, and it's driving me nuts because I saw a really good map, and I thought I kept it. I thought I put it in my little thingy thing, but we're faking it till we make it today. So, but yeah, follow the water, follow the tunnels. I believe there is an entire global network of advanced waterways and troughing system hiding beneath our feet. This is why there are so many military bases and national reserves. By the way, Arkansas Hot Springs, they were the first national reserve of these United States, where President Jackson hired the military to go make a national reserve, aka they sealed off 47 of the sacred springs and hot springs. And what else does hot springs have? Crystals. Hot Springs, Arkansas is literally the crystal capital of the world. And it also has hot springs. Hmm. And that's where the first place our American president and them white people, white men, not people, white men at this point, I don't even know if they're human anymore, but that is a whole other conversation because how can you be human and do the things that you're doing to your own kind? Like that blows my mind. So yeah, they took off. They there were there were people there. They threw off the Native Americans. It's called Montauk Mountain. Look up Hot Springs, Arkansas, Montauk Mountain. And I'm so glad you caught it too. Thank you. Thank y'all so much for being in the chat. Please, again, if you have any comments and you're still here and you want to ask me a question, I'm happy to answer. But that's what I wanted to show you is if something happens and this machine got, destroyed or something happened, wouldn't it make sense if all of a sudden these geysers and the fountains of the great deep and the springs from underneath would be flowing all over the planet everywhere? And wouldn't that cause a flood? And if this is some type of solar machine and it got knocked off of his axis, wouldn't that make sense that we would have like also an ice age? Because if we have a flood, then we have an ice age. And like, but if they had bunkers, because the Bible also says that the Nephilim were here before the flood and then afterwards. Oh, and if you don't know who the Nephilim is, that's whenever the sons of the fallen angels, God, if you will, had sex with the daughters of humans. So there's two different things and beings happening here. And they took for them all the wives and whatnot, and then they gave birth to the Nephilim, which were the giants. Hello. Now we know where Goliath came from. I always remember like, excuse me, in Sunday school, teacher, where did the giants come from? Oh, we don't know, honey, and we don't ask God those questions. Well, Linda, if you would have just opened up to Genesis chapter 6, and it talks about the creation where men multiplied and daughters were born to them. It doesn't say men and women got together and gave birth to children. It says that men multiplied and daughters were born to them. So there's all these weird things. And all I'm going to say is that there's a bloodline. And there's a bloodline that was here before the earth, aka, I mean, before the floods, and they just might have had some bunkers, you know, just saying. And they just might be talking about another reset, and we just might be repeating history, and we just might be needing to go watch our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Um, because in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, y'all, if you haven't seen the NTT below, it's on YouTube. Literally, just go YouTube, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think it's like episode 13, Entity Below. And they talk about exactly what I'm talking about, but a little different. They don't talk about the pyramids and stuff, but they do say that we should take a page from Atlantean history because they talk about these dark lords that are going to have the power over the crystals. And who has power over the crystals right now? AI. That's artificial intelligence. They are using synthetic quartz crystal. So this is not synthetic quartz crystal. This is created out of harmony and frequency and love and light, not taking and stripping the people of and the earth of its resources. This is regenerative energy. This is so everyone wins. So I'm trying not to get too much up on a tangent because whew, in the days of Noah, y'all, like, so I'm gonna paint another picture for you. So again, start following the water because okay, we can follow the money, right? Like we've all followed the money. We realize like what's going on with the money and how these wealthy people are doing some crazy stuff in philanthropies. And the Epstein files have come out now, and the Epstein files are also talking about some weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we are realizing that disclosure is more than just aliens. Disclosure is technology that would help us all instead of just supporting 1%. Like, can the 99% of us get some, please, and learn? Like, a little help, please, out here. Can I get an amen? And a whole lot of women, baby, because the patriarchy is dying. They're fired. Like, y'all's job is done. Excuse me, patriarchy, men, white men, which may not even be men. They might be wolves in sheep's clothing and shapeshifters. But anyways, like I said, the Nephilim are here on the earth, and then afterwards, and they became the men of renown and the kings. And what? Don't we have a bloodline? All I'm gonna say, anyways, yeah. So, any questions? Do y'all? Is anyone understanding this crystal technology and how this works and how, like, literally every government building, every cathedral, every pyramid, like all of this was part of a giant, massive networking system. All of it. So the fact that we're like, oh, we're gonna go do this green energy, solar power. You know how much money that cost? You know how much money it waste? And these data centers sucking up the water and all this heat and pressure. And there's been earthquakes happening right now. Just maybe the fountains underneath are getting real hot because I'm gonna show y'all why they're blocking out the sun. For those of you that realize that it's not contrails and it is actually chemtrails, because contrails they used to just go away. Like it's not like they were created a haze. I will literally be outside tanning, trying to enjoy the pool, blessing Mother Earth, thanking her for the trees and the flowers. And then I look up and there is some X's being sprayed across my sky. And then there is a haze. And then I gotta go inside because your girl ain't trying to breathe in that BS. And yes, go look it up. It's aluminum and barium because they say they're trying to block out the sun. Well, wouldn't it make sense that if I destroyed something back in the day that I don't want to come back on because it is solar power generated, wouldn't it make sense that I would try to block out the sun? So that way, not only the people don't get their vitamin D, but the pyramids don't get activated. And because I'm doing that, over all this time now, all this heat and pressure is just building up underneath the planet. So that is why we have global warming. Global warming is an internal problem. It's because all the aquifers are not able to come out and flow freely to the civilizations. So this is like micro, and now we're going to go macro, right? Because we got to see the big picture. We got to see the big picture. We got to see it all. And if you got some comments, let's see. No, literally, they're not human. They are after something more. So, exactly. Lucifer was a snake. And if we do our research, and I did, if you can't tell, I've literally been looking into this, y'all, since I was 20 and I just turned 40. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I know. I don't care about my age. I'm forever young. Okay. It's just a number. So, and that's another thing too, like anti-aging. Like the more that we say, that's why I don't even like celebrating my birthday. People are like, you don't celebrate your birthday. Prince didn't celebrate his birthday because I'm not trying to get older. Like I'm forever young. Like, but now I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, for those of you that want to look into this, and Lucifer was a snake that came from the star system of Orion and a certain star called Draconis. And how ironic, whenever we were going through COVID 2020, vision, because we got to see crystal clear now, that I was living in LA and they called it the draconian law. Do yourself a favor and just go type in draconian and see what picture shows up. And there's Lucifer and the fallen angels, and you're welcome. Oh, a great movie is Jupiter. Jupiter is a great movie of understanding that whole DNA thingy. But yeah, there's reptilians with giant wings in that movie, and I feel like they painted a great picture with that. And the Draconians took over the Sirens of Sirius, which were the original Earth Mothers, according to the Dogon tribe. And that's why if you watch the Truman Show, it shows the like the light falls and it says Sirius on top of it. Sirius is the dog star, and dog spelled backward is what? God. So, yeah, in a woman hating world, you would destroy everything that gives life and just suck from it, wouldn't you? And how you would do that is just block out the sun and suck all the water. And aren't the data centers doing exactly that? Isn't crystal geysers like siphoning? Like we are literally having a massive water shortage on our planet right now and natural disasters. None of this is natural, y'all. None of this is natural. It's almost 8 o'clock. Yes, exactly. Oh, thank you for saying that. They said it's building up in us as well. So sorry, I'm like, who? I just see Be the Busby, which I love, but I can't see her like the photos to see who it is. But what's amazing about the photo that I just drew with you guys about the temples and the pyramids, because we are also as above, so below, so within, so out. Like, the Truvian man, the Leonardo da Vinci, and think of like pyramids, right? As above, so below, so without. So the more that we connect within us, and this is why I've been juicing lately, y'all. I've been on a very extreme, I don't even want to call it a diet. I'm gonna call it a lifestyle where I'm basically eating living foods. I'm like, what is alive? Fruit is alive. Vegetables are alive. What do I not have to sacrifice and kill and have blood in order to live and be in heaven? How can I be in heaven and just eat of the fruits of heaven? Right? So the more that we do breath work and take care of our bodies and eat living foods that give life, we are attuned to the earth. And this is what's happening right now on the planet, is because people are realizing, like, wait a minute, time's out, something's going on. And, you know, it's time for change. So check this out. So now we're going to draw the earth and do this big picture. Do-do-do. So this is my crazy earth. So pretend like this is earth, right? I'm sorry about this, y'all. Oh, wait, that's the fan. Okay, well. So there's the earth, I feel like, right? And you get the idea, right? And so now imagine there's pyramids everywhere. All right, there's pyramids all over the planet. And again, these pyramids are solar charged. So as the world turns, these pyramids would get solar charged. And they literally talk about that. They're like, oh, the pyramid, when the sun is at a certain time at the summer solstice. Again, this isn't spiritual, it is freaking physical. This is astronomy, science. Like it is spiritual in a way that it's life giving and connected to God and cosmic. Yes, it's spiritual in that way. But I mean, in this, like, oh, it's spiritual. Like, Linda, look at it. Like, we need to rebuild what is all like spirit isn't over there. Like God isn't over there somewhere. God isn't up there. God isn't up here in the puffy clouds wearing a freaking robe dress, I call it, trying to tell his people what to do. Nor are the planets over here being like, you're a Leo and this is your sign and this is your personality. Like, can we please just, no, this is all just crap. I'm done. Earth, this is very easy to see, like again, flat or not, as the world turns, the sun will activate each of these solar points. So, yeah, it makes sense that in this now moment, they're blocking out the sun. So, if I'm creating a blockage, then now, as this world is turning, it can no longer activate. And now we're heating up in the middle. And so, again, remember how we talked about Noah's flood, right? So, if something happens and this got destroyed, then look at this. The portals of heaven opened up. We have literal floods, like it's like geysers of pyramids just all around. So, as in the days of Noah, this is what happened. And I'd like to think that we are on the opposite end where we get to rebuild. Like we've gone through the destruction and now we get to rebuild. And that's what I want to end my message with is that as above, so within, so as above, so below, so within, so without. Remember, don't just follow the money anymore. Follow the water because he who controls the water controls the world. Money is a part of it, but water, because now you're messing with life. Because without water, none of us can exist on this earth. And without a woman giving birth in her water, none of us would be coming through the portal to experience this human experience. And that's what I wanted to leave with is not looking at the Illuminati and Lucifer and demons and all this as the bad guys. Yes, they are playing the part of the negative polarity. I'm not saying what they did is right at all. I'm saying that it's like if we kill them, they're no better. Like we're no better. Like right. Like if they kill us for this, we could give them that. Like we're just killing back and forth, fight. It's like it's not about fighting. We're not fighting for love anymore. We're harmonizing for love. You can't build through. You can't build heaven like looking back and bitching at hell. And that's where we're at right now. It's like we have gone through hell and back. Like we're literally going through hell. Like the road to heaven is paved through hell, right? And so look at the Illuminati as those that illuminate the way. Like look at it as all of this is just one big puzzle piece for the world to come together. And they were playing this part because one day, back in the day, everything was perfect and magical. And we were just like manifesting instantly. Woo, 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 woo. I want a car. Yeah. Just, I want a hovercraft. Yeah. I want a crystal mountain. Yeah. I want to sing in spas and, which that's what the crystal cities were like in the cathedrals. Everything was water, everything was music, and we were singing. Imagine temples of angelic women and men too, because it's balance, right? I'm not saying women are better. It's just understanding the balance and understanding like I don't make blue try to be orange, and I don't make orange try to be blue. And if everyone just stays in their lane, we all make the rainbow because we all try to come together. What happens when you mix colors together? It turns into a muddy swamp ass. Like we don't want swampy waters. We want a rainbow, Sha. So this is where we're at now is we are basically Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, where we've realized that the wizards of Oz are like not who they say they were. And now we're trying to figure out how do we rebuild and reclaim these wonderful um, places, or we all start creating our own community, right? It's like, let's not fight. We're not here to fight. We're here to just recreate, rebuild, figure out their game so we can make our own game. Like, we're not trying to beat them at their own game. They already made that game and they've been cheating on that game. So we just got to pull out of that game. Game over. End game, right? The Great Awakening. And last but not least, like we were just talking about with the Great Awakening, revelations and the Great Revealing, Age of Aquarius, y'all. What did we just talk about? quartz crystal, and water. The age of Aquarius is literally electric living water. What is age of Aquarius? Look, it's time for this free wireless energy to hop on. So yes, I want to build pyramids with you too. I want to rebuild this pyramids. I want to restore and reactivate the cathedrals, which are our tuning forks and sound healing centers. Like, can you imagine a world where we don't need to be pricked and probed in hospitals, but instead we just go sing in cathedrals together for each other with instruments and like, can you imagine? And that's why Hollywood is siphoning all of the creativity. There's a giant pyramid in Hollywood too, literally built on top of downtown LA. And if I wouldn't have known about the water and the currency and the banks and the things and everything that I know, I wouldn't have found out. But that's why I'm here to share you guys, because there are pyramids hiding in plain sight. There's crystal buildings hiding in plain sight. And I just wanted to open up your mind today so that way you can start asking the right questions, because the questions, the question is, follow the money. Who is harnessing the money, but the water. So it's about harmonizing. There's even a thing where I saw where, there's snake charmers where they do 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 do, and the snake is like hypnotized. So can we hypnotize these snakes? Like, where my girls at? So where my Crystal City girls at? Let's go. And dudes and guys, like let's make it happen. So I'm here as your go-to because I want to see actual action. I want to build a community. For those of you that don't know, I want to build the Sanctuary of Sounds, which is a massive, beautiful, giant sound healing center, kind of like a cathedral, but domes in the middle of the mountains. So that way people can enjoy the mountains and fresh air once again. But also, it's like a spa. Like, there's hot springs that we could swim in, there's gardens, all the things, because I feel like, there's a way that we could be living, and that's what people want now. Like, we're sick of the matrix, we're hopping out of the matrix and into the magic. And we are connecting with one another with things like this. Thank you guys so much. I love you so much for staying in the comments. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. I just really, really want to thank you guys. Like, really, from the bottom of my heart, I've actually been scared to share this information. So, if something happens to me, I love myself. I was born and incarnated on this planet to rebuild the pyramids and to reclaim it. So, if something happens to me, just know your girl did not know. Like, protection. Please just ask for protection. And, we're always praying for protection, because I did not come to this planet just to freaking like not see this come into fruition. We're in the, like, right now, it's time is speeding up. There's earthquakes happening. And instead of this like end of the world ending, y'all, it's the end of this machine matrix crap. So if there's like, 3 days of darkness, great. I hope these BS 5G towers fucking crash and burn. I hope these data centers crash and burn. So that way this artificial intelligence can just fall apart. And for the record, this is crystal technology. Like, I believe in us using AI. I love AI. I use it because why would I leave a tool to Satan? Tools are tools. And if Jesus, like, I mean, if the Satanists are using crystal powers and crystal tools, then like, and they're doing spells, and like, well, we need to be using crystals for healing. Like whatever they're doing, there is an opposite of that. So learn from them and do the opposite. Everything's backwards, everything's opposite day. Yes, let's go. So before I get off here, because I know we're already at the hour, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to cover. I just kind of, again, wanted to do a quick drop in. I had a presentation day one. Here we are. I really just wanted to come kick it with y'all and talk about weird stuff and, just get these things off my chest, because this is what we need to, like, this is the truth. Even in South Park, they said the pyramids are the answer, because we are here to rebuild heaven on earth. And as much as I was like, oh, I'm going to go build the sound healing center in a little community, I started realizing, like, wait a minute, it's already all here. Our ancestors literally built all of this already. So Lemuria, hiding in plain sight. Atlantis, hiding in plain sight. Tartaria, hiding in plain sight. Like, all of these crystalline civilizations, pyramids, Egypt, all of this is literally hiding in plain sight. And I don't know how we're going to like reclaim this and retake over and kick out, you know, those that the imposters that have put themselves in power. But thank y'all so much. I love you so much. I look forward to building heaven on earth with you. And because I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to wait to die to like live a magical world. Like I'm trying to live heaven today to now. And the best way you could do that is do some breath work, drink some water with lemon and salt in it, because again, electrolytes. And we want to make sure that we are giving our body the things like water when it's given salt is more absorbent into your body. It creates electrolytes. We're made up of crystals, a liquid crystal, and piezoelectric energy. So, body of earth, body of you, baby. Temple of the pyramids, temple of your body. I hope that you feel empowered. I hope that you feel inspired. And if there's anything else, please leave it in the comments. I don't think I have any questions in the comments, but thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, seriously, y'all, like, I mean, I could cry. It makes me so happy that people actually hopped on here and showed up, because I honestly was expecting crickets tonight. So thank you everyone who showed up and showed up for me and just in the comments. And okay, talk about the bloodline next time. I will do. Um, I mean, again, it's kind of simple. Just snakes, draconians, look up where the draconians come from. And in the Bible, Genesis chapter 6, read in the Bible of Genesis. But yeah, there's some fun stuff. What's really fun too is I like to go to Bible.com and just like type in the word snake or serpent or reptile and see what comes in. So yeah, we'll have to do a deep dive on that. That one, I have to be, I mean, keep in mind, y'all, that I understand that all this sounds crazy. Like I was like, water under the pyramids. Yeah, right. I had to Google it. Like I even question my own visions and I don't trust them and I am skeptical. I'm like, what are you talking about? Water underneath the pyramids. What are you talking about? Water in the cathedrals. Oh yeah, there's holy water. So next time, I'll be talking about some bloodlines apparently. And if you guys have any other questions with crystal technology or anything else, if not, I'm going to hop off because it's an hour and I wanted to just keep this short, sweet, and simple. Hopefully, I didn't go too overboard with anyone and over your heads. And I was really trying my best to keep this short, sweet, and simple. So, last but not least, what is our important what are the ingredients for building heaven on earth? Okay. What are the ingredients for free wireless, magical, hydroponic crystal powered systems? You ready? Let's go over that again. Before we hop off here, we need ooh, we need water, quartz, that is a terrible quartz crystal. Oh my goodness. Hoo yai. Hoo yai, babe. Hoo yai. We're gonna give it some little sparkles. We need some quartz crystals. And who knows the other ones? We need sound frequency and vibration. I'm going to put vibes, sound, and let's see if anybody knows what else. What else? We need a conductor, copper. However, there's a mystery metal known as our calcum. And we're going to talk about that next time too, because a certain bloodline don't want us to know about orichalcum either. So yeah. So follow the yellow brick road to the rainbow. And speaking of the rainbow, that's what the pyramids usually actually really looked like. There was pyramids and there was rainbows over them all the time. And that's what the Wizard of Oz is really about, because there was rainbows over these emerald crystal cities everywhere because of the water, because of the vapors. I told you that it's hot springs and how it heated up and the pressure and would come out the civilization. It would create rainbows. Everywhere was a motherfucking rainbow. So that's why all of your little princesses, we love our rainbow sparkles, because that's what Earth really looks like. Earth was a rainbow sparkle. Her middle name is Mother Gaia, Rainbow Sparkle, Earth, planet. Like, so follow the water. And that's your homework. I love you guys so much. I'm hopping off here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully, next time I'll be able to figure out this screen sharing thing and be able to share my presentation. But for now, do your homework, follow the water, and get back to me. Like, let me know. Please let me know also, like, hey, I'm here to create a tribe of people so we can actually work on this and make shift happen. So if you're interested in making shift happen with me, let me know down below. I love you so much. Ciao. Thank you once again. My name is Emsley, and thanks for tuning in to the Crystal Freak Show. Hope you have a fabulous freaking day.